I was very lucky to have a dad that instilled a really strong appreciation of work ethic for me. So I've kind of worked ever since I can remember, from cutting lawns as a kid to learning to sell shoes at a mall shoe store, but actually learning consultative sales where I would have like a couple hundred people that would only buy their shoes from the guy in the mall shoe store because I helped them out so much. And then that's when I was able to, in college, become one of the best credit card telemarketers on the planet. If I got you eating dinner, you're signing up for a credit card. You weren't hanging up on me. And I became a multi-store manager at Sunglass Hut and became one of the top 100 managers out of 2,500 stores in the entire country. And I learned some leadership skills there. I worked for a guy in my church, actually, running his small business. Then I became an outside sales rep. And then I got my first sales manager gig selling stuff to schools with a team up and down the East Coast. And about that time is when I got introduced to Manny Medina, the CEO of Outreach. It was a 1 in a billion shot that we got connected. And he hired me on commission only to do sales. And then I grew the revenue at Outreach from 0 to 250 million. And then I became the CRO at Catalyst, taking them about 5 years to get to 5.5 million. I took it from 5.5 to 10.5 in 14 months. And then I tried the startup game. I have found out that right now in my life, I'm much more of an operator than an entrepreneur. And GTM tech is wild right now. So I took a step back from that. It wasn't the right time for me. And now I'm the CRO at a company called Docebo. My kids never said this to me at Outreach, because at Outreach, I was having the time of my life. Like, I would get lost. Like, it would be like, I remember when I first started and it was just me and the 4 co-founders, I would get up at like 7 in the morning. I would get my kids off to school and all that kind of stuff. And then I would work all day long. And then around 4 or 5, I would quit. Like, literally what I mean, work all day long, I mean like demo back to back to back to back every 30 minutes. Then at 4 or 5, I would get off, get my kids, help with dinner, get the kids to the soccer fields, do all that kind of stuff, come back, put my kids and my wife to bed at 10 or 10:30. And then I would go do Salesforce stuff from 10:30 to 2 a.m. I did that for a year. Do you know what? Never once felt burnt out. Never once felt like I had to do it. Always wanted to do it. And like, I think that's when you feel like have to sit down at your desk and you feel like you're something that you are obligated to do versus something you get to do, that's another sign. But at Outreach, my kids never said to me, "Dad, you're in business dad mode, not family dad mode." And I'm like, the first time they said it to me was when I was at Catalyst, actually. And then they started to say it more when I was doing the entrepreneur thing at my company, is they would be like, and my wife was the same thing. They'd be like, "Hey, you need to switch into family dad. You're still in business mode." And like, I couldn't navigate myself between the two worlds because I wasn't having enough fun in my work. And that meant that work was dragging me down. I was having to overcome it just to be myself with my family. That means you're in the wrong job.
If you find yourself in business dad or mom mode instead of family mom or dad mode, it means that you're stressed. You're carrying work with you all the time. You can't put it down, which means you're never fully getting fueled with the fun. And work feels like I have to, not I get to. Beautiful signs. These are all smart things. If you are listening to this and feeling this way right now, it is time to take action. Don't stay where you are. What happens?
All of a sudden, that closeness you have of a family starts to peel apart. Nobody wants to be around business dad. Like, I would say, like, I'm a very, and you know me, LB, like, I'm a very positive, whatever, but I will get serious.
The most.
And if I'm in serious mode, and then I'm going with dinner and I'm kind of like, "Oh, hey, who's doing the dishwasher after dinner? Wait a second." Like, and I have a tendency of to do this. When I feel stressed, I start to grab for more and more control. "Oh, wait, hey, who's putting the dishwasher away like this? Like, look at this cup. Who would put this cup away instead of putting it back in the dishwasher?" Family dad would never do that. Dad doesn't care. Business dad cares because he's looking at all the minutia and he's in the weeds and he feels like he's got to control stuff and he's got to come on and help people. And that's when you're in trouble, right?
What do you hope is your legacy?
I used to think about this kind of stuff when I was more religious, I had a pretty religious, faith-filled part of my life. I think I've evolved a little bit past that. I don't think about that anymore. I don't care what my legacy is. I'm going to just be me, do me, and what people think, and how the thing that gets left behind is what it is. Like, I know my kids are going to love me. I know my kids are going to talk about the fun things that we did. I don't need to be purposeful in doing that, because then it becomes inauthentic to me. I'm just like doing my thing, and like I surround my people with people that enjoy me and that I enjoy, and it kind of is working out. Like I don't know what I want my legacy to be. I'm still trying to figure out I was going to say, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up, but that's so cliche and boring thing to say.
You're anything but cliche and boring. And I think that you've grown up beautifully. And you have this massive LinkedIn presence, right? Your hashtag execs hate. It's just pure gold. Your engagement's through the roof. Hundreds of thousands of people listen to your podcast. But what I love most is when your daughter comments on your posts.
That's my girl right there.
Yeah.
That's my
You've
girl right
raised
there.
this great human, and she gets
She's
to
awesome.
admire you right out loud.
She's awesome. She's leading marketing for a San Francisco-based AI company. She just moved out there. She's crushing life. I can't believe how awesome she is. Listen, she's me in female form. We were destined to get along from the very beginning. I don't know what to say. She's one of my favorite people in the world. I would fly out there right now if she wanted me to go out to dinner.
How else do you decide who your favorite people are? Who gets to be? You've got a squad. We know this. You've got followers in the outer ring of hundreds of thousands, right? Squads that follow you anywhere. How do you decide who's in the inner circle with Mark Kosoglow?
I hate to say it, but there's only like 5 people in the inner circle. It's my wife and my 4 kids. That's it. I don't have like super close friends. I say that, yet if I called anybody in my contact thing, I think that they would pick up and talk to me right now. So, but like my inner circle is just my family. That's a sacred place. I don't call people I work with my family. I don't call people at my church my family. I don't do any of that stuff. My family is my DNA, people, and the person that I have committed to be loyal to for my entire life, right? That's the inner sanctum. That's it. My parents aren't even in that inner sanctum. It's just those 5 people. But people on the outside, listen, I'm not great at keeping in touch with people. Really what it comes down to is like, if I think of you and doing something every day, or I come across a picture or whatever, like I'm pretty good about like just saying, hey, what's up? How's it going? Or whatever. But I don't know. I don't think I have a bigger circle than just the 5. That's the inner sanctum. Nobody else gets in there, and I ain't have any more kids. So, and I better not get married again.
Nobody else is getting in, folks. The position's full.
Closed up.
You're a beautiful human being. I think that's part of what makes you such an inspiring leader, and the authenticity that comes out, whether that's in your podcasts or in your posts or in text conversations with people that work for you. What you see is what you get with Mark Kosoglow, and it's a beautiful and inspiring thing. Thank you for sharing that with me and with everybody else.
Everybody asks me, what do I need to do to be a leader? And my 2 top things of advice are efficacy. One is the ability to affect change. Can you get somebody to change their mindset, their attitude, their emotions, their results, their techniques, their behaviors? If you can't do that, you don't get to be a leader, right? So the first is efficacy. And the other one is, wait a second. I lost my train of thought. What were we just talking about?
Well, we're talking about being real and personality and liking people and building relationships. You as a leader.
We're talking about the 2 things of a leader is efficacy and I can't remember my other one. Oh my God.
Don't you love it when that happens?